What's up YouTube, Nitro Kid 98 back with another video, and today we're going to be hydro dipping the SRT4 while the Miata burns down. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming off of it, but there's quite a bit coming off of it. Actually, it's not nowhere near as bad as it was, but a lot of that is just basically oil hitting the exhaust because it still blows oil every fucking where off the valve cover and the camshaft seals because I have yet to give a fuck to fix it. But I'm going to. I am. It's just all the stuff's in this box right here. See that box? That box has everything I need except that water pump's wrong because they sent me a 1.8 kit and mine's a 1.6. So anyway, we're going to be doing that is not involving the Miata. I'm going to take the valve cover on the SRT4 and the intake pipe, and we're going to be hydro dipping them snow camo. We're going to be using a base coat of white VHT paint. I've got the primer for this, so I'm not using primer. Don't think I'm like not using primer. I am using primer, and we're going to be using this bucket. As you see in there, there's a couple different types of that's good for it. There's a couple different types or rolls of hydro dip. We have the Galaxy is one, Sticker Bomb's another, and then snow camo is in there as well. I know you can't see them, so but nothing else but snow camo is going on this thing today. I don't know if any of those others are going on this at all, but I'm gonna go ahead and start taking everything apart. Very nice. That one wasn't even tight at all. Like it was just chilling there. That might be where some of the suspension rattles coming from, maybe. It was snug, but it wasn't tight either. Alright then. I'm excited to see what the other side looks like. A little bit better there. It's still just snugged up, and that's it. Alright, and before anybody freaks out about that loose hose that you've seen with the strut bar, that is for the windshield wiper sprayers. It's not hooked up, doesn't actually do anything, so it's not like a loose vacuum hose or anything like that, so God forbid, don't freak out. It's normal, it's okay. So, right now we get the cool back off. Alright, so I finally got the cool pack off. The back two bolts were not there for the cool pack, and I guess that was so when they went to take the strut tower brace, wouldn't have to take it off every time. So that's not too bad. A little sketchy, but you know, at least it was the cool pack, you know, not something else missing bolts. You know, you can kind of get away with it on that. So anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and take the actual valve cover off. Alright, so we got everything undone. We're going to go ahead and start with the intake, getting it off, just make sure it up into the positive because metal intake right beside the positive is not really the best thing to have to deal with. So we're going to be really gentle right here. Makes me nervous. Spin it, get it out of there. Alright. There's the intake. That's not the ideal way to take off your intake tube. But that's how I do it. Okay, now we're going to remove the valve cover. I'm going to basically lift this, the port here and the PCV port here. It's still a little warm. It's kind of hot. What we're going to do is got to break the seal of that valve cover gasket. Might have to get a hammer or a mallet and gently tap it every now and then. You have to do that. before. Gotta be careful doing it this way. Take this flathead screwdriver and just kind of, you know, pry the shit out of it. Just want to work it a little bit. Just want to work it a little bit. 2 locations. Don't just stick to one. Right there. Now. Alright, there we go. I have to pry the back just a little bit. I don't think I'm going to have to, but nope. Lift up. And she is extremely fucking warm still, son of a bitch. Holy cow. Yeah, I didn't feel that hot to the touch before. Alright, and there is the valve cover gasket off. So I got the valve cover off. It's sitting on my stool back there. I got the intake filter off the intake pipe. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the stool and the valve cover sit out here, and I'm going to blast it with some brake clean. And I'm going to do the bottom. I'm going to pay a lot more attention probably to the bottom than anything else, because when I dip it into the tub with the hydro dip, I want to make sure none of that oil gets in the water in the hydro dip and affects the way it adheres, because it's not going to help anything. It's going to make it just look like crap. And this is one of them jobs, I feel like if you fuck it up, it takes forever to correct it, because you got to sand everything down, clean everything up, and it's just a pain in the ass. So we don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up out here, and we're going to blast it with some brake clean. Alright, so we got the intake pipe completely painted white, looks great. I might have missed a few spots, but the one reason that I wanted to do a white background with snow camo, which is probably because no other background is going to work, I don't really think would work that well. That, and when I do gray primer under it, if I actually accidentally miss some spots, it's not going to show, because like snow camo is white, gray, and black. So it's just going to work out and be like, oh, you meant to do that, when really I fucked up and nobody knows about it. So anyway, we're going to take this piece of pipe, we're going to hang it up, let it dry. We're going to get the valve cover here, check it, make sure it's completely dry. We're going to put it up here. We're going to paint it white, and then we're going to get all the hydro dip stuff set up. But I don't know that the valve cover is going to go back on the SRT4 today. I might have to wait till tomorrow to complete this video, and the reason, I have shot so much brake clean and purple power through the baffles of that valve cover. I want to make sure it's completely dried out before I put it back on the engine and take a risk of getting that stuff circulating through my motor. Yeah, I could just do an oil change, but at the same time, I want to make sure it's not in there at all. That, and I'm also about to submerge it in the water, because, well, that's what you do when you hydro dip. So the baffles are going to be full of water and everything else. I just don't want to take a chance of getting that in the engine. We'll see where we stand after it's done, but honestly, it's like a 75 to 25 chance that I'm not putting that valve cover back on the day, and I'm going to wait till in the morning. Valve cover is now completely white, looks great. I did such a great job all the way through not to get any runs till I went to get this spark plug channel right here. Didn't know where the angle of my tip was, giggity, and I hit more to the side here than I did the spark plug channel, and I made a hellacious run. It's not too bad, not gonna really be noticed once the hydro dip hits, I think. So now we're gonna let everything dry. I'm going to get everything set up for hydro dip. All right, so and then we're gonna go ahead and do the water. Move some bubbles out running under it. This is not the original paper. I dipped the other paper in it, went to use the activator, opened the can, and lo and behold, the tip they sent me with the can was broken. And the way they sent it to me, I kind of feel like they knew it was broken. They just didn't want to, I guess, own it. But anyway, I went and got another tip to work. So I'm gonna have to try to work with this paper because this is all I have, and I don't think I'm gonna have enough to do the valve cover. This is like the most slack I can get out of it. And I still have what I feel like is going to be enough to do the valve cover. I don't know that this tub's gonna be big enough. Right there it is. Let's get the intake pipe. They say 45 degrees like the best way to go about it. That's how we're gonna go about it. That did not work out at all. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna try to do the valve cover now. I'm really nervous about this because after the intake not going that well, I really don't have a lot of high hopes for this either, to tell you the truth about it. I know it's not the right attitude, but you know, the worst thing, like I said, can happen is I fuck it up. And anything you mess up, you can always go back and redo. So we're gonna let it sit in there for a little bit, get all that water, soak up all the water, get all these air bubbles out. For the most part, I think it's about ready to go with that air bubble out of there. Alright. Let's try this again, shall we? Alright. And that right there turned out absolutely perfect. There's a couple little things in it I don't care much for, but it turned out a hell of a lot better than the last one. There's some wrinkle in it where it went over the lettering, but honestly, get all that extra excess off. All the jelly off of it. Once we get the jelly off of it, this came out really well. That's all that is, that jelly. Not bad. And I'm also hydro dipped as well. Hell yeah, I'm camo. Awesome. Yeah, I got some jelly in there. I could not be happier with the way this turned out, except for these little pieces right here I gotta get off. So I'm gonna go wash off all this like jelly shit that I was told you have to. It didn't get down the spark plug like holes, but I can't really say I've expected it late. I need to get this valve cover dried off. I need to go ahead and shoot it with this 2K clear. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the air compressor to try to blow the baffles out and make sure there's no moisture in there. So maybe I could put it on the car here in a minute, because I'm honestly dying to see what it looks like. And I want to drive it a little bit tomorrow. As far as the intake pipe goes, we tried redoing that. I'll take you over there if the air compressor stops here in a second. But it is a far cry from perfect. It's not really good at all. I will be the first to tell you I am not a hydro dipping expert. This is my very first time hydro dipping. I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, I'll let you see the valve cover. It turned out really, really well for a beginner. There's a couple of smudges like over there where I had to put my finger on it. I don't know, you know, I had to poke it. I just had to fucking poke it. And it was after cleaning it all, like there's this slimy shit on it that I was told that you need to get off of it. So while getting it off of it, I just dropped my clear coat. I felt like, ooh, this feels really gooey. Hey, it's starting to dry up. And then I kind of put some pressure down, and yeah, don't do that. But anyway, I'm new at this. I'm not no expert. I'll be more than happy to tell you I'm not. Yes, I could have paid somebody $150 or about $200 or so to do both of these parts, maybe a little less, to do snow camo, have them come out absolutely perfect. But where's the fun? Where's the experience? And where am I learning something in that? I want to learn as I go along. I want y'all guys there with me. I want to show y'all can do this. And I also want to show you, don't be afraid to fuck up, man. It's what we do. And when you fuck up, you learn. Like, if you're not fucking shit up, you're not learning anything. So, I know some people are gonna hate this video, motherfucker, you don't need to be hydro dipping. Well, I don't need to be doing a lot of shit that I do, but I do it anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and blow all this stuff off. I'm gonna go ahead and clear it, and I probably, by the time I get everything back, we will be back and it'll actually be on the car. Alright, so as of right now, they're not completely cured, but I do have the valve cover and the intake pipe sitting on the car, just to kind of get a visual of what it was going to turn out like. I'm really happy with it. The intake pipe could have turned out better. Right here, it looks like absolute garbage, but like I said, I'm no professional, first time ever doing this. The valve cover, although, turned out really well. There's a couple shitty spots in it. But although I'm very happy with how it turned out to be my first time. Cannot say I'm upset at all. And worst case scenario, I will go to Miller's and get another one and redo it when I get a little bit better at it to actually get a good lay on it. The thing I found really hard about the intake pipe, the fact that it was circular, that was where I started having a problem. Like the first dip did really good till it started wrapping around the pipe, and after that I had a lot of problems. But now the one thing that I don't like is I do not like the way that this looks. This just clashes in the engine bay. So we may be putting an intake manifold on the car. I want to go ahead and start modding it anyway, and we're going to be changing the fuel rail to a probably a Boomba, a red one. Not going to say exactly what I want that fuel rail for just yet. But one, it's going to be red and it's going to look better. But two, it's going to allow me to do some things that, well, that fuel rail just won't. I'm not going to say anything just yet because we're not sure we're going to go that route because it's really hard on a car. But we are looking at doing that now. I'm probably going to go get a new filter for the car tomorrow. I got to be careful because I have a bolter, but hell, this filter is pretty whacked out. I mean, it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty dirty. Like, I'd hate to see what that would look like if I'd put it in the sink and try to wash it. So anyways, guys, I'm going to close the video out here. I really appreciate y'all guys watching. I just want to go ahead and once again say, yes, it's not a perfect job. But I also want to say, don't be afraid to try new stuff. Don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to mess up at all, because when you mess up, you learn from that. And if you do, at least try to learn from that. So the next time you do it, even if you do mess up a little bit, it's not as bad as before. You learn something. You have a new skill now because you know you got to do something differently. And that's why I don't like paying people to do stuff for me, because I wind up having a different skill set when I'm done. So anyways, guys, Nitro Kid 98, there's a button either here or here. You need to hit that. It says subscribe, and give my video a thumbs up, guys. And if you got a comment, drop it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys.